Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me as I continue playing Nancy Drew, Treasure in the Royal Tower. I'm Tsukiru, and this is part 2. So, and whether you are new here or an old friend, I'm really happy to have you here. So, let's go ahead and get started. Right, I was going to... set an alarm. Goodness. It's a very drafty sounding castle.
Can I help you?
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
Alrighty then.
I'm not entirely sure what happened. Had a hiccup with my recording and live streaming program. So hopefully it'll behave itself. So I restarted it over here. So we'll go through this again because I don't know when it stopped working. So now I'm a little paranoid. God, somebody's sawing away at the bars. I was able to grab a pointy thing.
It's locked.
And that is not the key that I need. Came out here and Lisa's here.
So what'd you find in the library?
Please, Lisa. You know it's off limits.
Oh, come on, Nancy. You've been on the prowl. I can tell by the sparkle in your eye.
I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
Aw, you're no fun.
What do you know about Jacques Brunet?
Didn't you watch the last Winter Olympics? He's France's big cheese of skiing. He holds the record for the 500-meter slalom, but he totally choked at the games. I guess he's washed up now, but at least his looks haven't gone down the tubes.
Curious. I wondered last time. What is... I have no clue what a slalom is. Oh, okay. So like when you go down the mountain and you're winding back and forth. Okay. So the one with the flags that you have to get past or around, and now I know. I've seen it, but I'd never, never realized what they were actually called. It was just skiing to me.
So tell me more about the life of a photojournalist. It must be very glamorous at times.
Well, there's nothing glamorous about the pay, I can tell you that much.
Does your job take you to exotic, far-off places?
Well, there is a lot of travel. Too bad I'm so useless with foreign languages.
So you say.
There was a little mix-up with the lockers, and I accidentally opened yours.
Yeah, and?
Well, I was kind of confused. I was just trying to see whose stuff was in there, and I found a bunch of IDs in your bag. They all had your picture and other people's names on them.
A savvy photojournalist always carries a couple of alternate identities, Nancy. When you're working under deadline, you don't always have time to play by the rules. I'm sure you know what I mean.
Did you know Professor Hotchkiss published a book on Marie Antoinette?
Yeah, I looked her up on the internet. The critics panned the book. Looks like other historians think she's a real quack.
When you researched this place, did you find any references to a secret garden?
Not that I remember. But I probably wasn't even thinking about gardens. I mean, it's hardly croquet weather.
I'm dying to find a way into that tower. Where do they usually hide the secret entrances in weird old Midwestern mansions?
I guess I should know, shouldn't I? Too bad most of the places I've covered aren't any weirder than imitation butter. I wish you'd hurry up and find it, though, so we can check it out.
I'll let you get back to your magazine.
Stay warm.
Their magazine, it looks like she's reading the article about Maddie Jensen from the second game.
Can I help you?
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
Bye, kiddo.
Okay, so... There it is. I think I need to figure out... First, let's check in. What? Oh, I forgot the one. Wait, do I have a voicemail?
Welcome to the voicemail system. Please press 0 to retrieve the first message. To go to the next message, press 2. To leave the second message.
Nancy, this is your mentor speaking. Things are looking uncommonly out of sorts in here. I just hope I haven't had another intruder. Please remember that passkey I gave you is not for sharing.
To leave the system, please press 3. Thank you. Goodbye.
Alright. No. 1.
Hello?
Hi, it's me.
How's it going, Nancy? Are things calming down around the castle?
Not unless you find it calming to climb out of a stuck elevator.
What do you mean, stuck? The elevator broke down?
Well, that's what I thought. Until I talked to Dexter, who said it was probably the power switch in the basement.
But, Nancy, how could the power switch just go off while you were in the elevator?
Maybe someone turned it off. But why?
That's what I'm wondering.
How did you climb out anyway?
I climbed through a hatch in the roof of the cab and just barely made it up to the next floor.
So you were standing on top of the elevator in the open shaft? Way up high? Ugh, just the thought of it makes my stomach do somersaults.
Anything interesting in the elevator shaft?
Just a metal ladder leading up to this ventilation duct or something. Nothing unusual, except that the cover for the duct looked like it was about to fall off.
Maybe someone needed to inspect the duct and forgot to replace the grate?
Or maybe the duct leads somewhere, like to buried gold, or a hidden...
Bess, that was Nancy's last case. she's in Wisconsin now, not San Francisco.
Wickford wrote Dexter a farewell poem before he died.
The inventor of chocolate milk was a poet, too?
Yum, I could write a poem or two about chocolate milk.
It says that he hid some sort of luck charm for Dexter to find.
Where?
Something about his old thinking spot somewhere out in the garden. Funny, but I didn't see any garden when I came in.
Well, you can't exactly tiptoe through the tulips when they're buried under 6 feet of snow.
Never mind my cheeky cousin over there, Nancy. When the storm passes, you should go out and see what you can find.
Okay, you two. I'll talk to you soon.
Watch out for weird people!
Let's see.
Yes, dear?
See you soon.
Goodbye.
There's gotta be some sort of trigger I haven't seen yet. Okay. My brain's There we go. Sound of sawing.
Nancy, what are you doing here?
I was just looking for the castle's soda pop machine. What you working on?
I can explain, Nancy, but please, don't tell anyone that you found me here. If I get sent back to France, my fiancé will give up on me, and I will have let down my family again.
What's your fiancé expecting you to accomplish by breaking into the Queen's Tower?
I am doing this for my country and for my family's name. Isabelle has nothing to do with it, except that I feel I must succeed before I will feel worthy to marry her. The tower holds a valuable French historical document. If I can find it and return it to France, perhaps I can make up for my failure at the Olympics.
What kind of document?
The tower first belonged to the Chateau Rochemont in France. When Ezra Wickford bought the tower, my great-grandfather was the master carpenter in charge of dismantling it and preparing it for shipment. One day, when he was working alone, he found a secret compartment in one of the walls.
Then what happened?
Inside, he found an old journal with a royal crest on the cover and a medallion with a strange blue stone in it. But he heard other carpenters coming, so he hid the medallion in his pocket and sealed the journal back in the compartment. Before he could get back to study the journal and return the medallion, the tower was dismantled and shipped to America. He never learned who the journal belonged to or what it said.
What happened to the medallion?
I have the medallion now, and I'm hoping if I can get into the tower, I can find the journal too. You see, he thought if he told his story, Ezra Wickford might get angry, accuse him of interfering with the project, and try to ruin his name as a carpenter. So he kept quiet.
But he told you this story?
I was his only great-grandson. On his deathbed, he gave me the medallion and told me the whole story. He begged me to come here to Wisconsin to find the journal and return it to France.
You must feel a real sense of responsibility to carry out your great-grandfather's dying wish.
Oh yes, of course. But it's not just for my great-grandfather. It is for France. The journal bore a royal seal. It must have belonged to Marie Antoinette, because she used to visit the tower during the Revolution. So perhaps it contains her confessions, or perhaps it contains proof of her innocence. Either way, the contents of that journal could change French history forever.
But how do you think the medallion fits in? What's its significance?
I have no idea. I believe whoever hid that journal must have left the medallion with it as a part of their message. But what? Nancy, do you think you could help me? Let me show you this medallion, and maybe you'll be able to tell me what it's for.
I might be willing to help you, but you have to tell Christy everything. I'm sure she'll understand, and then you won't have to sneak around in the middle of the night, haunting the castle with that screeching hacksaw.
Okay, Nancy, I see your point. I will explain everything to Christy Lane as soon as possible. Now will you help me? I think this medallion will interest you, and maybe you'll have some idea what it's for. It's in my locker. Will you go get it while I take care of something? The combination is 2665. I'll meet you in the locker room in a minute.
2, 6, 6, 5. Why does he have 4 digits?
Okay, Jacques. I am intrigued. I'll see you downstairs.
You're the best, Nancy.
That's what they tell me.
You? Okay. So I have to go out here. No, just... Alright. 2. 6, 6, 5. Jacques, darling, I am trying to be patient, but I can understand what is taking so long. My mother and father are traditional people, and they think it's highly unusual that you would ask me to marry you without demonstrating your commitment to me in any symbolic way. You know, I believe that our love makes us richer than kings and queens, but I cannot live on hot dogs and mac and cheese forever. You said you had a plan. You said it would only take a couple of weeks, but it has been 2 months. I can't wait forever. Please don't make me give up on you. I remain your petite chère, Isabel. Okay. That's odd. U.S. Immigration and Naturalization Service Branch. To whom it may concern, our records indicate that your visitor's visa will expire within 1 month. If you remain in the country after that time, you will be doing so in violation of the law. If your visitor's status has changed or you wish to dispute our records, please contact local immigration authority immediately. Anything else? Okay.
Headache headquarters. Nancy here.
Nancy, it's Jacques. What happened? Are you okay?
I don't really know what happened. I opened your locker like you said, and then it was lights out Nancy.
But you do have my medallion, right?
It was the last thing I saw, but I sure don't have it now.
Oh la la, you can't be serious.
I'm sorry, Jacques. I know how important that medallion was to you.
This is too much. Oh la la. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Doesn't sound as windy anymore.
Thanks for coming down. I've been wanting to talk to you. How's your head? Did you slip or what?
Well, let's just say someone must be trying to tell me to get a little more rest on this vacation. Anyway, I'm planning on making a speedy recovery.
It's just that when I found you out cold in the basement and hauled you back to your room, I noticed all this red dirt on your shoes. I'm just curious where it came from.
Mr. Egan, I confess, I found my way into the corridor that leads to the Queen's Tower. As you probably know, the dirt in that tunnel is very red. I hope you won't consider this trespassing.
Nope. If you must know, I'm impressed. Ezra Wickford set that secret door up so nobody would be able to find it. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with getting into that tower. Ezra told me that if I could get through the secret door, he'd take me up to see the Queen's Tower. Finally, I got into the tunnel, and when I came out with that red dirt all over me, he laughed. He was actually proud of me.
That's an amazing story, Mr. Egan. I'm glad you're not angry. I guess I'm just as curious as you once were.
I'd say you earned the right to check out the tower for yourself, but you gotta get through that gate, right? There's an old skeleton key in the maintenance shed. Now that the storm's passed, you can go out and get it, but be careful. It's still dead cold out there.
I don't want to press my luck with you, but I sure would like to see Ezra's private garden. Could you tell me how to find it?
It's nothing but wasteland out there. If you're bent on tromping around in the cold, go left when you get outside, away from the shed. Look for a wrought iron gate. You'll figure out the rest.
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
You're a trooper.
Well, if it isn't Dexter's little Cinderella.
I'll let you get back to your magazine.
Keep me posted.
Is that a jab because of the dirt, or? He's supposed to be open, but he's not. Wickford Garden, created in loving memory of Eleanor Wickford.
It's locked.
A red one. Local buzz. Do you know what your neighbors are up to? Remember when? Not many of us are old enough to remember young Dexter Egan, the adopted son of old daddy Chocobuck's Ezra Wickford. Most of us only came to know Dexter, the boy who was lucky enough to grow up at Wickford Castle, as Vilas County's most famous juvenile delinquent. According to legend, it was Dexter's troublemaking that caused Wickford's disappearance from public life. Most of us have used his name and an example to our own children to frighten them into obedience. You don't want to turn out like Dexter Egan, do you? We would ask. A counterfeit, convicted felon, bad egg? Isn't it amazing that after 25 years in prison, Dexter Egan's release is coinciding with the grand reopening of Wickford Castle, now owned by enterprising young Christy Lane? It's true. And rumor has it that Egan is determined to straighten out his life and make up for his past mistakes. But how? Will he become Wisconsin's next chocolate milk tycoon? When asked about his plans to reinvent himself, the ever-charming Dexter said, "No comment." Does this spell trouble for Vilas County? Only time will tell. Aha. Got a key. Okay. That couldn't possibly be important at any point in time during this game, could it? Oh yeah. There's something else. Hang on. I just remembered about Hotchkiss, exploring that area. And there was a peephole. Okay, so that one, those don't. Just that one.
Glad you came down to talk. Get this. I saw Dexter walking out to the maintenance shack with this, like, green ornament thing in his hand. He's up to something, right? Maybe you should check it out.
If you're so interested, why don't you go check it out yourself?
I'd love to, but I really should get to work on my article.
So you're gonna sit there looking at your magazine instead?
I'll let you get back to your magazine.
Stay warm.
I'm gonna go look
It's locked.
at the other thing first. There we go. Just a sec. Little bit of tea stuck in my throat. Didn't want to cough into the microphone. Something green. Oh. Oh, okay, cool. Concerned that it still makes noise. Let's see. Good so far. Okay. Let's see. Okay. No, must go along the top. Okay, there we go. That looks good. Okay. Aha! The journal!
Looks like a keyhole of some sorts.
Let's see. I wonder if Professor Hotchkiss would allow me to interrupt her.
Hey there, Nancy.
Why are those holes in the crest on the floor of the tower room?
I can help you, but we shouldn't talk about it now. Not here. Call me later.
Mysterious.
You've been holding out on me, Mr. Egan. I read in an old issue of the Daily Telegraph that you grew up here, right in this castle.
All right. I did live here for a few years, once upon a time. I was an orphan until Ezra Wickford came along and adopted me. But I left the castle when I was 16, and I never saw him again. That's the story, all right?
Why didn't you ever come back to visit?
Some things can't be explained, kid. It was a long time ago, and nothing can change it now.
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
You're a trooper.
I mean, I knew he grew up at the castle well before I read the news article. Okay. Wait until the witching hour. Well, in the meantime, I can go check out that hot tip that Lisa gave me.
Nancy, I still cannot believe you lost my medallion. How could you have been so careless?
It's not like I dropped it somewhere. I don't think carelessness really plays into this when somebody, you know, knocks me out. There we
I
go.
wasn't exactly careless, you know, and I didn't lose your medallion either. But I don't have it. Where were you, anyway? Weren't you supposed to meet me?
And when I showed up, you were having a catnap on the floor. Ugh, I will be ruined by you American women.
Guess you'd better stay away from me then. Goodbye.
Au revoir, little Miss Nightmare.
I won't give you your journal either. Nah. Ew. No.
It's freezing out here.
Hey.
I've lucked out. Open the door. Jacques, can you hear me? Open the door. If I don't get inside soon, I'll freeze to death.
Gosh, I can hardly feel my toes.
Which is funny, I think I was out here for longer last time. She didn't complain then, but now that we're in great peril. Let's see if we can figure this thing out. Not there. There. Ah.
What the? What's going on out here? Is that you, Nancy?
Let's
Come
sigh.
inside. It's freezing out here. What kind of a stunt was that, Missy?
I was freezing. That stunt was my version of an SOS.
Well then, what can I say except good thinking?
Well, that was a quick Intuit. Another investigation. Lay down. So it looks like Diamond Misery Journal. Okay. Well, let's go check in with Bess and George, and then take a nap until we can talk to Hotchkiss. Oh, and I can call Dexter too.
Hello?
Hi, George.
Hey, Nancy. What's the latest?
That ventilation duct in the elevator shaft? It leads to the library.
I knew it! So you got inside?
Did the vandal do a lot of damage?
It was a mess in there, all right. The vandal even clawed a big hole in one of the walls. He or she must have been desperate to find something.
Like what?
I don't know. Before I could really investigate, Dexter came in.
Uh-oh. What did you do?
I hid back in the duct. He was looking for something, and then he left.
Well, that sounds awfully suspicious. Didn't he say he didn't want anything touched until the police came?
Right, I know.
Wow. I wonder what everyone is looking for.
Maybe one of the books in the library contains a secret code.
Or a treasure map.
Or maybe I'm too late. Maybe the vandal already found it. Whatever it was.
Apparently old Dexter doesn't think so.
Get this. I found a secret room in the library.
Secret room?
It looks like it was Ezra Wickford's study. Would you believe that Dexter Egan was Wickford's adopted son once upon a time? Until Wickford disowned him?
Why was Dexter disowned?
He was convicted of a felony, counterfeiting. I guess Wickford didn't want any more to do with him after that.
Well, that's a checkered past if I ever heard of one. Wonder what he's doing back at the castle.
Maybe he wants revenge.
Revenge on who? Wickford's dead.
It's not logical, George. It's revenge.
I found Ezra Wickford's secret garden. You'll never guess what Dexter's boyhood luck charm was.
A rabbit's foot?
A little green leprechaun?
Guess again. A medallion with a red stone in it. Do you think I should give it back to Dexter?
Oh yeah, like honesty is the best policy with creepy convicts?
I think George is politely trying to say that you should find out what the medallion's for before you breathe a word of it to anyone. You'll probably need it to solve this mystery.
I've been doing some research on Marie Antoinette.
Find anything interesting?
Apparently, Marie Antoinette was once given an extravagant tiara with a ruby, a sapphire, an emerald, and a humongous diamond in it. But she hated it and refused to wear it.
Who ever heard of a queen who hated jewels?
What's even weirder is that before she was executed, the tiara just disappeared. Nobody has ever found it.
Maybe it's somewhere right in Wickford Castle. And that's what the vandal tore the library apart looking for.
Or it could be the old childhood luck charm Wickford mentioned in the poem. Maybe that's what you saw Dexter hunting for.
Who ever heard of a kid carrying around a bazillion-dollar tiara for good luck?
Okay, you two. I'll talk to you soon.
Good luck.
Be careful.
This is Dexter.
It's Nancy, hoping you can help me now. But why the sudden hush-hush? Do you smell a rat?
The information you request is highly sensitive, young lady. That's top secret in case you were wondering. Now, I've been around the block a few times, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's that you can't be too careful. If you want answers, we do it my way, see?
Sure thing, Mr. Egan. I just hope the phone's not bugged.
All right. Just give me the question.
What's up with those holes in the crest on the floor of the tower room?
I've always wondered that myself. Seems like something's missing from the crest. Like different objects should fit in those holes, but I don't know what. Is that it?
I think that's it for now. Thanks, Dexter.
All right. Come on. 3 a.m. probably get the hang of it, and then the game will end.
Yes, dear?
What does l'espoir à ceux qui cherchent mean?
Let's see. Well, espoir is hope, and chercher is to search. Hope to those who search.
Can you translate this for me? Le diamant de misère dans mon journal.
Now, where the heck have I seen that phrase before? Well, anyway, it means the diamond of misery in my journal.
I found something that I think you'll be very interested in. It seems to be some kind of journal. I think it was written by Marie Antoinette herself.
What? Let me see that. This is it. I've been trying to track this down for 15 years. Where on earth did you find it?
Well, it's a long story, but I happened to find a way into the Queen's Tower, where I happened to find a secret compartment. I think this must be what the vandal was after.
Nancy, I must warn you. I'll wrestle you for this if I have to, and it won't be pretty.
I would be interested in seeing that.
I'm sure physical combat won't be necessary, Professor. I'm glad to help you with your work, but I need your assistance in return. You're fluent in French, aren't you?
Absolutely. I'll get to work on it right away. I'll have the translation ready in my room for you this time tomorrow. Until then, I mustn't be disturbed.
And she's gone. Alright. Well, let's go sleep until tomorrow. Dang it. It's kind of odd. Can't turn. Did it, like, just skip ahead? Nothing like a full day's sleep.
I'm so glad you stopped by. I've translated the entire journal. It's fabulous. And as an added bonus, it includes Marie's official decoder, something no one else has ever found before.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
Okay. So then I must need to go to her room. My husband is like an impossible child. I still cannot believe Louis bought this tiara when the French economy is in so much trouble. I told him I didn't want it. What does he expect me to do with it? I cannot wear it. The people hate me already. They call me Madame Deficit, as if the country's debt were all my fault. I wish I could sell it and return the money to France, but this would embarrass Louis publicly now. If he and I appear divided, the mob will erupt. They'll overthrow the monarchy in no time, and we'll find ourselves kneeling at the guillotine. I've thought of a plan. I will have the tiara dismantled. There's a dear old jeweler, Claude M., in the village near Rochemont, who will do it for me. I trust him with my life. Once the stones are removed, Claude will make the ruby, the emerald, and the sapphire into ornamental medallions. These I will scatter across the continent. The diamond is worth untold millions and must be returned to the French people, but not now. Not while the country is tearing itself apart. I'll hide it carefully as I would hide the key to my soul, so that it will not be discovered for generations. Someday, when the medallions are brought back together and my message is decoded, the diamond will be found. It will take an extraordinary person, and I don't believe it will happen until the wounds of this revolution have healed and history has wrought a new, more rational French order of some kind. Finally, when the people's wealth is returned to them, this diamond of misery will be restored to its magnificent beauty. Tomorrow I will have my portrait painted by the great Marcel Bonnet. I have announced that I will not wear the tiara. Louis is furious. He does not know that the wretched crown no longer exists. I have sent the emerald medallion to Vienna, to my dear cousin, the Baroness Helga von Henselsdorf, as a token of my affection. The ruby and the sapphire will remain in my secret compartment where I keep this journal, but soon I will decide where to send them. My own court speaks viciously of me, and I feel terribly alone. I only hope that someday, years from now, my affections will be better understood. If you are reading this, know that my honor shall be blue, our courage shall be red, your loyalty shall be green. I wish you well, weary traveler. Okay, so that's bolded. So, honor, blue, courage, red, loyalty, green. Okay.
I can figure out what those symbols in the stained glass mean, but the message doesn't make much sense. I wonder if I'm missing something.
There's no honor on here, but loyalty is the fleur de lis. I still don't have... Oh, there's more. Honor. Okay. Let's see what that last one is. Some sort of solution. My French is very limited. Moon. Looks like a trident. And a drop.
I think I see what the symbols in the stained glass mean now. Let's see. Purple rose, whole diamond, key of queen. But where have I seen a purple rose? And what's a diamond key?
Okay. In her painting, she's holding a purple rose.
Hello there. Oh, it's so exciting about your discovery. I wonder what it will lead to.
Can you tell me what this means in English? La solution se trouve dedans.
Well, trouver is to find, and solution is just like it sounds, solution. The solution is found within.
I saw a letter on your desk from your friend, the Baroness von Hanseldorf. And I'm just wondering, did the medallion she gave you have a blue stone in it by any chance?
Heavens, no! Where did you hear such a thing? My medallion had a green stone in it. Anything else would be a mere imposter, a flaming faker, do you hear me?
What do you think of Lisa Ostrom?
That Leslie, yes, oh, a real dynamo, but... oh, I told Chester that I would not require any maid service during my stay. I don't know why she didn't get the message.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
Lisa's looking more and more sus. So there. She's got a purple rose right there. And the background is the same as in the tower. Wrong way.
It's locked. Looks like some kind of prison.
Uh-huh.
I need something to pry these tiles off.
Pointy thing. Okay. There we go.
Looks like a keyhole of some sorts.
I don't get to go any closer. Okay, so notes. honor is blue. And honor is that one. Courage is red. Loyalty is green. How did they not notice that?
The diamond!
Whoa! Will you look at that sparkly rock? And me without my sunglasses.
Hi, Lisa. How did you get in here?
I followed you, of course. Turns out a nosy, goody-two-shoes detective is good to have around after all. Now, why don't you toss me that big honkin' diamond so I can blow this popsicle stand and never set foot in lame-o, Wisconsin again?
Lisa, you must be kidding me. This diamond belongs in a museum in France.
Yeah? Well, I belong in the lap of luxury, and that diamond's gonna get me there. Hasn't anybody ever told you to mind your own business?
Always.
Oh, many times.
Well, maybe this time you'll learn.
This is what.
My eyes!
Ow.
Don't worry. My spicy devil villain venom won't last for long. But I'm afraid by the time you get your eyes back, you'll have missed my grand exit.
Are you the one who conked me on the head in the locker room?
Ouch. I bet that hurt. But I had to get the medallion somehow, didn't I? I hope we can still be friends.
Why did you leave Jacques' medallion at Hotchkiss's room? And Hotchkiss's medallion out in the shed?
To spread suspicion around, of course. You know, to play with your mind. Plus, I was at a dead end. I got the 2 messages from the stained glass window, but then what? I knew you would figure it out, so I decided to put the medallions in your hands and let you lead the way.
Why did you have to vandalize that beautiful library?
Just a little translation mix-up. When I read the message from Hotchkiss's medallion, I thought it meant Diamond of Misery in the library. Whoops. Guess I went a little overboard looking for it in there. Anyway, enough with the questions, Nancy. You'll just have to read the rest in the papers.
I've got to stop her.
Ah! Help! Get me out of here! It stinks down here. It's all moldy. Darn you, Nancy Drew. You're the worst friend a diamond thief could ever have.
Dear Dad, to think I almost became friends with a diamond thief. Everyone at Wickford Castle is resting easier now that Marie Antoinette's journal and her famous diamond are safe and sound. The journal, the diamond, and the medallions are all going to be featured in a new Marie Antoinette exhibit in Paris. And it looks like everyone will be rewarded. Except Lisa, of course. First, she missed her plane to Rio, and now she's going to be charged with attempted grand theft. Professor Hotchkiss is thrilled because the French government has granted her permission to publish Marie's journal in the U.S. before it gets returned to France. This ought to help prove her theory about Marie's character once and for all. Thanks to Jacques and his great-grandfather's efforts to find the journal, the Brunet name is being celebrated all over France. In the meantime, Jacques and Isabel have eloped. It's so romantic. I showed Dexter the poem that Ezra Wickford wrote him, and he was relieved to know that his old pop didn't carry any hard feelings to his grave. All the talk shows want Dexter to tell his story on national television, but he keeps turning them down. I guess he doesn't want to be famous or infamous. But when Christy Lane called and asked Dexter to be her business partner, he accepted. With her business sense and Dexter's expert knowledge of the castle, I think they'll make a great team. So, you know what they say, Dad? Il n'est jamais trop tard de changer l'histoire. It's never too late to change history. Me, I'm determined to go out and enjoy this snow before some other case comes up. See you soon. Love, Nancy.
Yay! So, well, there you go. That was Nancy Drew and the Treasure in the Royal Tower. Oh. So, quick playthrough, only a couple of episodes, but I always find that the Nancy Drew games are fun to come back to. So, try and get something new picked out for tomorrow, and we'll see what I come up with. I have ideas, but I don't know for sure. But if you are watching this and you happen to have any ideas, feel free to shoot me a whisper on here, or you can find me on my Twitter, which is the link on there is on my About Me page for my channel on here. So in the meantime, though, still will be playing the second season of The Walking Dead. Get back into doing that, and then we'll have something new to play tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of your week. Make sure that you take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you next time. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.